I am Miranda, Miranda Robbins. I betrayed someone close to me, and now he's in a mental institution. A month ago, I was a rich, carefree girl. My dad has a huge hotel business, and I'm graduating in a month. Dad was sure I'd soon be at the helm of his multi-million-dollar empire, and everyone was happy about it, except for the quiet, inconspicuous girl who also bore our big name of Robbins. Mimi was my sister. She was a year older than me, but we were in the same class, for I was a very bright girl. We didn't really get along with Mimi because she was jealous of my parents, and after my father announced that I was going to take over the business, our relationship totally soured. Oh, the doorbell! Must be Dylan. Meet the inveterate Casanova who's been messing around with girls left and right. For convenience, he called each one babe, and miraculously, no one resented him. A few times he came on to me, but I ignored all his signs of attention. Eventually, Dylan got sick of it, and one day after class, he drove his red Mustang up to block my path.
Look, why are you freezing me out, baby?
Go ahead, I'm in a hurry. But Dylan jumped out of the car and came right up to me. Yeah, he was a handsome guy. You can't argue with that.
What do I have to do to get you to go out with me?
Dylan practically burned my face with his breath. I like the classics, Dylan. Flowers, dinner by candlelight, a walk through the evening city. Surprise me. Can you do that? Dylan clearly wasn't expecting that answer, and I, walking away, followed behind through, and you have to come home for me. And there Dylan was, standing on the doorstep. Now I realize that this act was a trigger for terrible things. I'll tell you everything. But in the meantime, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. Thank you. The date was a success. We sat in a cozy restaurant on the roof of a skyscraper. Then Dylan took me for an evening boat ride where we kissed under the moonlight. Happy, though a little confused, Dylan brought me home late at night. It was dark everywhere, but for a moment, I thought I saw a shadow in the second floor window. Dylan's gentle kiss distracted me. We started dating. The school was in shock. The most inveterate womanizer turned into the perfect romantic. Dylan kept saying that I was the first girl who'd ever stood up to him. The more I ignored him, the more the guy fell in love. And then tomorrow is prom. Dylan and I had arranged for him to pick me up at 6. The prom was at 7, so we'd still have time to take pictures. But it's 6:15, and Dylan's not here. I dialed the machine. Strange. Normally, if Dylan is running late, he always lets me know. And then I got a message on my phone from Dylan.
If it's important to you, the Ritz Hotel, room 13.
And a picture of a boutonniere. Dylan had specially ordered flowers for her in the tone of my dress, so I immediately recognized it. What kind of tricks are those? Why a hotel? We're going to be late for prom. I called him up, but no luck. That's when I got mad. I'm not gonna let anyone lead me around by the nose. Okay, Dylan, what's the big joke? I jerked open door number 13. Quiet. Dylan? Sit down, sister. Mimi was standing on the threshold of the bathroom, looking at me coldly. I felt bad. Mimi didn't look good, to say the least. Sunken cheeks, circles under her eyes. Where's Dylan? What did you do to him? He betrayed me. Mimi took a step in my direction. I thought you'd be just like him. Just another babe on his list. But no, he's in love with the perfect Miranda. She made me shake. And when I saw him kiss you tenderly goodbye after our first date, I knew you both betrayed me. So it was you. I didn't think anyone was watching from the window at the time. Where is Dylan? You answer for hurting me, Dylan. And Mimi pointed at the bathroom with her eyes. He's waiting impatiently for you. What have you done to him? I whispered through my lips. Suddenly, I heard a loud stamping of feet in the hallway behind me. A minute later, my dad came rushing into the room, followed by several guards.
Are you okay?
Daddy rushed over to me. The guards immediately surrounded Mimi. Dylan, she did something to him. He's in the bathroom, I cried. Luckily, Dylan was sleeping peacefully in the bathroom. Mimi had drugged him. Wiping away my tears, my dad told me that Mimi was not well. She had been under the care of doctors for a long time, and so far, everything was within normal limits. The medication was helping her, but apparently my affair with Dylan was the trigger, and she went off the rails. It was lucky that the hotel where Dylan and I were trapped belonged to my father, and the receptionist immediately reported seeing both Mr. Robbins' daughter in the hotel lobby. Now Mimi is in a mental hospital. I visit her, but under strong tranquilizers, she sleeps all the time. It turned out that Dylan had actually gone out with Mimi once before my relationship with him, but somehow it didn't work out right away. I'm not offended by him. I'm more mad at myself. How could I have not noticed that there was something wrong with my sister? How could I have been so blind? I feel terribly guilty. Do you have any sisters or brothers? Do you have a good relationship? Write to me. I'm very interested.
I'm Linda, and I never thought it would happen to me. Anybody but me. And it just doesn't make sense. Help me figure this out. And to find out what happened to me, watch this video all the way to the end. Mr. Kirby is our new teacher. When he came to our school, at first, he was very discreet. He was like a gray moth himself, quiet, always with a bunch of books under his arm and big glasses. We called him the Glasses Man. He taught history, a terribly tedious subject that no one in our class liked. But Kirby himself was really into his subject. As soon as he started class, it was like he was transformed. His back would straighten, his face wrinkles would smooth out, and his eyes would sparkle in a way that even the thick glass of his glasses couldn't obscure the sparkle. The Glasses Man always had with him several large cards, which he hung around the classroom, and he managed to show something on each of them for the whole lesson, running quickly from one to the other. Kirby demanded that we know all by heart, all the dates, all the battles, all the famous personalities. He even managed to quiz everyone during class. And of course, to give terrible grades. And then we had to work off our grades after class. Our school life turned into a living hell. We made complaints about Mr. Kirby. We went to the principal. It didn't help. The principal brushed us off by saying that last year Mr. Kirby won an award as the best history teacher in the state. So he knew exactly what he was doing. In fact, when the Glasses Man found out that we had complained about him to the principal, he turned into a real monster. We prepared a report or essay for each lesson. Before history class, we would start shaking with fear, and he didn't like me in particular. You'll find out why later. But now, just make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you click the bell icon so you'll know when there's a new video coming out. And he didn't like me because I argued with him in almost every class. I've always been a rebel, and when I see the prejudice, it just blows my mind. It pissed me off that Kirby wanted his subject to be everyone's favorite. But I, for one, liked math better, and didn't want to waste my time writing hundreds of history reports. One day, I didn't do my homework, an essay, and it infuriated the Glasses Man. I openly, without apology, said that I had not prepared the essay because I had a lot of homework and I did not have time, although every day I sit up at night with these essays for history class, and that no teacher does not give so much homework, and that's enough, Linda, that's enough. After school today, you'll have a chance to prepare an essay. There'll be plenty of time. We'll discuss it in class tomorrow. I was furious. It was my mom's birthday celebration tonight, and although we live alone with her, my mom and dad have long been divorced. All my relatives were going to visit me that night. Grandma, grandpa, aunt, nephews. I wanted to help my mom clean the apartment and bake a cake. Everything as we agreed with her. I didn't know when I would be home. But my final exams were coming up, and I didn't want to risk arguing with that nasty teacher Kirby, so he wouldn't ruin my grades. After school, I sat down to write an essay. There was plenty of information in the school library. In 2 hours, I left school in a hurry. It took me an hour to get home by bus. And I realized that I would be home around 6 when everyone was getting ready. Of course, I warned my mom that I could not come home early because of the teacher, but my mom was not mad. She just sent me a happy little smile in response. Strange, I thought at the time. When I opened the front door, I immediately smelled a pleasant aroma of pastry, light music was playing in the apartment, and my mother's laughter came from the kitchen. And not just my mother's. I froze. A man's voice? Or was it just me? "Hi, honey. Come on in. I'm almost ready." My mom was glowing in her beautiful dress and her makeup and her hair. What's going on? And then I saw him. In his shirt and pants, no glasses. I couldn't tell at once. "Hi, Linda." Mr. Kirby in my mother's apron, with a mixer in his hands. He was smiling at me. Surprised, I did not know what to say. Just looked at my mother and then at the glasses man. "Honey, I want you to meet Dean. We've been dating for a few months now. And I really hope you two become friends." "Linda?" I ran to my room and slammed the door loudly, barely holding back my tears. And now I'm sitting there, and I don't know what to do. Mom and that glasses guy? Even though he's kind of cute without his glasses. But that doesn't change anything. I hate him. Did he know I was her daughter? Or he had no clue? Now the relatives are going to gather, and I don't want to see anybody. My mother is knocking on the door, demanding an explanation. What should I tell her? Write down what you would do in my place. I am looking forward to it.